Back to the Great Ace Attorney. Last time we had more votes by the jurors, and we're actually about to start the
The constipation. What they call it.
it was the where is it?
The summonation exam.
The summonation examination. Okay. Last off, we left off on Sasato here.
The key to the procedure is using the jurors' words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to be present and united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements.
Such as the 2 stabby people, or the 2 people talking about payment.
Yeah. If we can contrast their statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find contradiction in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Right, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I will! I have to pull this off!
Can we start the proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord. The defendant's rebuttal. Aaron! There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
Hold it!
Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McKilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet. Such as? And perhaps that's something we could all work together now? Now listen here. Maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have.
Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood for considering an alternate point of view, does he?
I'm going to have to pit a juror against one another, like Sasato said. Finding contradictions in these 6 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. So,
You're not gonna get any food.
1 and 4 are shutting us down. But 5 here and 2 are the interest ones. So I'm going to press them and pit them together.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Because they're the obvious ones. We were, during a break in the stream, we had lunch and we talked about this. But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is?
I manage his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts.
I see.
A single penny can mean a difference between life and death, after all, can't it?
That's a saying in your country?
My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to it, sir. I mean, yeah, he's not the richest person, so of course someone keeps it.
Does that bench really need any more polishing? It can always be polished more.
So if a good driver says he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do is disposing of the rubbish.
Ah, now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think.
This one's obviously easier because it's the first one.
Yeah.
So the game's like, come on. But we can still press him first.
I'm doing it for... Sometimes it doesn't register in these games unless you do press them.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why I'm pressing them first.
But
Anyway, your lines?
if you notice an inconsistency in what two different jurors are saying,
I should expose it by pitting them against each other. Yes, let's see if I can do just that.
we'll deal with him later.
Actually, I feel if we question her, she's going to crush us here. So I'm not going to even press her yet, because that could be dangerous.
Hold it!
That's how much it costs to take an omnibus? That's right! As the Guildmaster, I've decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. One fare no matter which bus you take or how far you're going.
That's actually kind of reasonable.
We have to compete with the rise of motor cars. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor car, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely dangerous to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline in passengers. You mark my words. And it's all the rascal's fault. He has to pay. Is it the crime? Or his boss he's more worried about?
It's the bosses.
Yeah. I'm just reading the line.
I know.
Anyway, every member of our guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the dark is as guilty as sin. And now? No. I missed. Just let me go back. I didn't mean to click A, I meant to click left on D-pad.
Where'd you mix that?
Yes, Sasato, I appreciate you helping. Sasato is coming around, in my opinion. Unlike before, I couldn't tolerate her on the boat. There we go.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Are you okay? What's wrong?
They do explain yourself, Council. Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's mane and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group's testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus that night. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Okay, I freaked out because those two statements contradict each other. Is similar to the testimony contradicts the evidence from the original game. So I went, oh fuck, did we mess up? Quite right. I have the precise details tucked neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, that leaves a glaring discrepancy, in fact. Why, man, why? Four passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication...
Ah, it would be 16 pence.
Exactly. As I'm saying, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. 4 pence, in fact? 4 pence, in fact, are precisely one person's fare.
One person's fare?
Yes. In other words, the omnibus that night... It's distinctly possible there's another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious.
This can't be right. The coachmen of the guilds are good, honest men. One and all, trustworthiness is our watchword. Our watchword? What the hell is a watchword? Please do. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a faculty.
Okay, a watchword is a word or phrase.
Allison.
A watchword is a word or phrase expressing a person or a group's core aim or belief.
Beg your pardon! Wait, did you mute the TV?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider what if this trial were to end now. The news would surely spread all over London. The news of one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Ah! Alright then, how do I make it so... How do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end?
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball in the fire into the innocent side of the set of scales. Because it'll even it out now.
Now hold your... Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
Uh-oh. I didn't know if we got in trouble, but...
This is our very... How do I do his voice again? I need more liquid. This is very irritating. Thank you.
Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to have to do the same.
For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards of financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think the only proper way to wear from here through the I, for one, think the only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. You did it. We managed to change 2 more jurors' minds. We can force the trial to continue.
2 more. Actually, there's something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavily on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
Now it's the stabbies.
Okay, I forget if we were supposed to pin him on that, because his angle...
6. Stab.
Yeah. Yeah, because he didn't end up on the floor, and... Like...
Careful! You could hurt someone with that! Sure. You're a fine one to talk. What about that sword hanging from your waist? No, that's my battered soul.
Kazuma.
Kazuma?
He just called Kazuma battered.
Damn! Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same. All stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mark my words. That's very unlikely. That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that Small Shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but...
Mr. Naruto, please be careful what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then as far as I'm concerned, he's guilty as sin. A man can hang. All bark, no bite. Come to think of it, Didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhanded activities?
You thought of something, Mr. Naruhara. Don't let it go. Test your theory. Yes, we know. Okay, thank you.
God, this is painful.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. I beg your police.
I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
Also, what's a...
What's up?
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow just like this.
Yes, that is what he said. You're right.
Miss Gilded Park is such a lovely little place too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on my cleaning. And I had thought anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever could have thought he was a miserable murdering moneylender with no scrap of remorse.
No help. She's as sure as can be that he's guilty now.
That old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she?
The music kicks ass here.
I know, I love it. God, the music in this game is so good. I mean, a lot of Ace Attorney games have good music, but like, the great Ace Attorney. Shush this. No. It just sucks because she was the last one, so it automatically goes to We don't need hints, we just wanted to see the dialogue. Because both their ways of stabbing are wrong.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory!
What? Explain, counsel, post haste! Oh dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What is all this claptrap?
Clap.
Sir, you can eat a brick or a bar of soap. Preferably both. What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment that the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror member 3, what can you see that I'm...
It's the...
What? Can't you see that I'm busy here? How could you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Huh. Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. Except that's not how that could have happened.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Take a look at those two jurors. He struck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What?
Bless my stitches. What a muddle.
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility that one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh.
But why? Why the dickens would they lie? Wait, did I read that?
No, you didn't.
Okay. I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales.
I don't believe it. Great! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you can't listen to this man. Look at him, in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us.
Bruh.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark genie.
Jinx.
Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? Of it, if two witnesses are slightly different recollection of events.
It's not slightly.
What of it? Let's say Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. The young dandy saw him do it. And let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and the Shylock stabbed him again. And the old lady saw him do it. Well, that's to say it didn't happen like that. Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old?
That's my line.
Oh, right.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime?
Look at the autopsy report. I don't know if it said how many times he got stabbed.
Single stab wound.
So no, okay. So yeah, there's no way.
It's out of the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it you done? You dark jinx! Come on out with it! Shut the fuck up, you bigot.
Bigot.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm the only that I'm only doing my job as foreman of the jury. I take a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction.
Bro, you just want to get out of here.
So where's your evidence, man? That what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that it's out of the question, show me some proof. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss.
Evidence.
Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw autopsy report.
Yeah.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Only once! It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means the witness couldn't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright. I concede defeat. Wait, that means
We did it.
our jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhara. We won.
What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus.
A rushed consensus.
I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take the razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
Gross. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summonation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. And jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. The trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Recall is quiet.
Probably.
Alright.
Bye.